Welcome to the infinitive, el infinitivo. So, what is the infinitive? Let's see what that is first in English so that we can have an idea of what that means in Spanish. So, the infinitive in English is when you have a verb without conjugation. So, for example, if I said to speak, then that would be an infinitive. I can also say, for example, to run, or I could say to go out. All three verbs are in infinitive. Why? Because I didn't say speak or spoke or running or going out or went out. I just said to speak. So in English, when we have a verb and we precede that verb by the preposition to, we transform that verb into infinitive. To speak, to run, to go out. So how do we do that in Spanish? Well, in Spanish, we do not use a preposition. We just have verbs that have particular endings. So, for example, the verb to speak would be hablar. Then we have the verb to run, correr. And then we have the verb to go out, salir. As we see here, the first verb ends in AR. The second verb ends in ER. And the third one ends in IR. So when we have verbs in Spanish that end in AR, ER, or IR, that means that they are in infinitive. That is called infinitivo. So when we say hablar, correr, salir, that would be the equivalent to saying to speak, to run, to go out. So as we said before, these are the verbs in infinitive. But let's decompose these verbs. So what you see here is the verb without the ending that makes them infinitive, the AR, ER, and IR. So the part that we are left with is called stem. In Spanish, that would be raíz. So this is the part of the verb that does not change. The part that we took out, the AR, ER, IR, are the endings. That is the part that will change with the conjugation. So let's add some different endings to start with the conjugation. So for example, if I change the first verb, I can say hablan. Just because I change the ending, that means they talk or they speak. So that an ending is the conjugation for they in the present simple. The second verb, I just added an e. That means he, she ran, or if you're addressing me formally, you can say usted corre, you ran. Now let's conjugate the third one. So I added I am os. That is the conjugation for we. So that means we go out. As you see here, just by looking at the verbs, you can tell who is doing the action. You can tell who the subject is. So that is why in Spanish we don't use the pronouns all the time. Most of the times, what we do is just change the conjugation and we will be able to say who the subject is.